Welcome to America Reads Fun Learning Activities. We are college students who create learning activities for kids, and our fun activities are focused on reading, writing, and math. Thank you so much for joining us today. My name is Naya, and in today's activity, we will be learning how to make line plots and add and subtract fractions. For this activity, we are going to need a few different sized coins, a ruler, and a whiteboard, and we are also going to need a pencil. Okay, so we have 4 pennies, 2 dimes, 3 quarters, and 1 nickel. And we are going to use our rulers to measure the length of each coin. So let's take some time off camera to measure these lengths, and then we'll come back. So in order to create our line plot, the first thing that we are going to do is just draw a line. And after doing that, we are going to take all of our newly found measurements and plot them on this graph. So we have 1/2, 3/5, 2/5, and 1. And one thing that we can notice is that we have some repeating lengths. So rather than having them repeat on this bottom part of the graph, we can just add an X or a tick mark to indicate that we have repeating numbers. So for example, we have 4 pennies that are 1/2 inches, so we can just add 4 X's. We have 1 nickel that is 2/5, so we can just add 1. We have 2 dimes that are 3/5, so we're going to add 2 tick marks. And then we have 3 that are 1 inch, so we can just add 3. And just like that, we were able to create our line plot. Now that we have found all of our data and have it collected and plotted on our line plot, we are going to use this information to compare different lengths of the different coins. So the first thing that we're going to do is let's figure out how big our quarter is compared to our penny. So please grab your quarter and penny and then come back. So let's compare the length of our quarter and penny. And so we want to find out how much bigger our quarter is compared to our penny. So we are going to do that by doing 1 minus 1/2. And so to solve this problem, we are going to use subtraction. And the first thing that we are going to change is this 1, because we notice that this does not have a denominator, unlike the 1/2. So, and a secret that we can all be aware of and that we should all start becoming familiar with is that all fractions secretly have a 1 underneath for their denominator. And so now that we have that, the next thing that we are going to do is we need to find a number that we can multiply so that the denominators are the same. And that number that we can use is 2. So we can multiply the numerator and denominator by 2, and then multiply this side by 1, so that both sides have the same denominator so that we can solve. So after multiplying the top and bottom, 2 times 1 is 2, and that is the same for the bottom part. And then on this other side, we have 1 times 1, which is equal to 1. 2 times 1 is equal to 2. And so now we have 2 over 2 minus 1 over 2. And since our denominators are the same, we can leave that denominator for our final answer. And then we can just subtract our numerators or our top numbers like normal. So 2 minus 1 is equal to 1. So our answer is 1/2. So let's compare the length of our dime and our penny now. So we have 2/5, and then we're going to do addition in this problem. So 2/5 plus 1/2. And to solve this problem, we are going to be using addition. And in order to do this, we have to make both of our denominators the same. So the first thing that we need to figure out is what number can we multiply on both sides to make our bottom numbers the same. Well, one easy solution that we can do is just multiply both sides by the number in our denominator. So we can take 1/2 and multiply it by 5/5. And then we can take 2/5 and multiply it by 2/2. And so we are going to take 2 times 2, which is equal to 4, and then 2 times 5, which is equal to 10. Keeping our addition sign, and then we're going to do the same on the other side. So 1 times 5 is equal to 5, and 2 times 5 is equal to 10. And so now that our denominators are the same, we can keep 10 as our final denominator for our answer, and then we can just add up 4 plus 5, which is equal to 9. So our final answer is 9/10, or 9/10. Okay, and so we're going to do one last example of this comparison. And so we are going to be comparing our nickel and dime. So we have 3/5 minus 2/5. Okay, and this one is a little easier than the last two that we just worked on, because since our denominators are the same, all we have to do is subtract the numerators and keep our denominator. So we are going to subtract 3 minus 2, which is equal to 1, keeping our denominator of 5. So our final answer is 1/5. Amazing job, friends! I hope that you are so proud of yourselves, because you just learned how to do line plots and add and subtract fractions. And I really hope that you enjoyed and continue to enjoy a special activity that I have made to help you guys feel even better with these somewhat challenging concepts. Thank you so much for learning with us today.